Alright, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a quick guide on perks in Nine Kings. So when you go to play a king, you will see this perks down here at the bottom, and you go to your perk screen. Your base perk screen, you've got 9 empty perk slots. When you first start the game, you're not going to have any perks unlocked, but as you level up on a king, you will unlock universal perks, these gray ones here, king perks, which are unique to the king you are playing, and then every 3 levels on your highest level king, you will unlock a rainbow perk, which are over here. So a new perk unlocks every time your king levels up, alternating between universal and king perks, and then additionally, every 3rd level threshold that is reached for the first time, so level 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, you will get a rainbow perk. And the order of unlocks for all of the perks are random. So you might have a friend who reached level 3 and they got a different rainbow perk unlocked than you did. Same thing for every single level. You might have a different universal perk unlocked than somebody else at that level. So let's start with the rainbow perks because they are by far the strongest perks in the game. Let's start with how we can expand our slots here. If you take Expander, you can get 2 additional perk slots to 1 rep. Now, let's talk about Leftist. Leftist says the perk slot to its left is applied an additional time. So that means Expander gets a multiple of 2, and so therefore you get 2 more slots. Now, where you put this adds slots in different fashions, but if it's next to your Expander, it's going to give you the extra 4 slots, so you will have 13 perk slots, and that is Expander plus Leftist. Similarly to Leftist, we have Verticalist. So Verticalist says vertically adjacent perks are applied plus 1 time. So same thing here, Expander is multiplied by 2, so you get double the effect of Expander and get 4 extra slots. My favorite combination in the game is to use Leftist plus Verticalist plus Expander in this array so that you can get a ×3 here and a ×3 here. So this is one of my favorite perk tree setups, is having Verticalist above Expander, and then we have Leftist. So then the top and bottom on Verticalist each get a ×3 multiplier. So also right now I have 15 perks here because I have Expander ×3. If I were to remove its ability to be ×3, it will just get rid of perks until it is fulfilling wherever it was supposed to be. If you move it around, it'll get rid of things. Another combo is with Nationalist. So Nationalist says all adjacent king perks are applied plus 1 time. So if we take a couple of these king perks over here, you can see they are multiplied by 2, not by Leftist or Verticalist, but by Nationalist. Now, if you try to put a regular universal perk here, you'll see it does not get the ×2 multiplier. Instead, it's just multiplied by 1, and it also does not work like diagonally, so it does need to be adjacent to be multiplied by 2, and it does need to be a king perk. So then, if you put Nationalist above this Verticalist with Leftist here, and put your king perks to either side of it, the perk will be multiplied by 4 for the king perk, which is absolutely insane, depending on what build you're going to go. So the way you get this perk ×4 is you put down one of your king perks, then Nationalist goes down so it gets an additional multiplier. Then you put down Verticalist below the Nationalist, or alternatively, you can always set it up this way, however you see fit. And then lastly, you put Leftist here, and that gets it to a ×4 multiplier on either side. Again, if you try to put a non-king perk here, it is going to get 0 extra effects. One more setup for the perk tree that is pretty good, but you will have to sacrifice these 6 additional spots for, is if you do Leftist Verticalist with Nationalist in the middle, and then you can get 3 of your king perks ×4. So that is very nice. You can Expander and get 2 more perk slots and maybe throw like a moderate in here and then whatever else you were going to put. So this is another option for a perk tree if you don't mind sacrificing 4 of your slots. let's go ahead and talk about some of the other perks. We also have a moderate perk. So it says all universal perks are now ×2, no more, no less. So if we have this set up before with Verticalist and Leftist for a ×3 on a universal perk here, and then we add moderate, it will drop the multiplier down to ×2. You cannot get above ×2. Everything is ×2. Notice how these other universal perks also got ×2. These king perks are not affected. You can try multiplying moderate ×2. These all still stay ×2. So that is the moderate perk. Next, we have Banisher. Banisher says allows you to pick a king to banish from the next run. This can multiply. So if you put your Banisher here and you do our little trick with Verticalist and Leftist to get ×3, and then you go to your run and play, what you will see when you load into the screen is pick a king to banish from this war. And notice I have the 3 out of 3 hovering here, changing in rainbow colors. So that means I get to pick 3 kings to banish. That means I will not be able to declare war or make peace with them, because I'll never be at war with them. You can still see their cards in the shop, but you will not be fighting them. So if you really don't want to fight King of Progress, King of Time, and King of Blood just because you don't want those kings, then you can pick those 3. So that is the Banisher perk. So if you only have ×2 or ×1, you will pick that number of kings to banish from your run. Next, we have the Lunatic perk. It says, if this is your only perk, you start at war against the Jack of Rainbows. That does not mean necessarily that your first year of combat will be against the Jack of Rainbows, but they will be in your rotation of normal people to fight. Instead of just the 2 times that you normally fight Jack of Rainbows, you will fight them more than 2 times. You can reroll to fight them. The way Lunatic works, though, is this has to be your only perk. You cannot put any other perks in your perk tree. So if you do that and press play, then when you load, you will see you are at war against Jack of Rainbows here. So we're fighting against our rebellion right now. Now, in year 2, we're already fighting against Jack of Rainbows in year 2, which is unheard of. You don't normally fight them this early. I think they're like year 16 and year 26. So this will allow you to get lots more rainbow cards to very quickly buff your base. And here you can even see on this screen, you have Jack of Rainbows in your enemy. It does not replace the 2 kings that you normally start at war with. You still are at war with 2 kings plus Jack of Rainbows. And last but not least, the last rainbow perk is Seasoned. Gain plus 30% experience. So this you can work with the Verticalist and Leftist. So you can get plus 90% experience on your runs. So if you are trying to rapidly unlock perks and you happen to get the Seasoned Rainbow perk unlocked early, then this is a great way to get more experience. Even if you just take it ×1, you're getting plus 30% experience. So that is a great way to level up quickly so that you can unlock more perks. So that's it for the 8 currently available rainbow perks. Next, I'll just quickly go over what the 11 universal perks do. First is Nurturer. All troops start with plus 10% HP. It's okay. I don't normally go it because I feel like a king perk or a rainbow perk is probably better in its place. I do take Fortifier if I am going towers on a particular king. Fortifier says that towers start with plus 10% damage. It can be pretty good. Next is Lucky. Lucky says that rainbow cards are 20% more likely to appear in shops. When I've taken it, I really don't feel like I've gotten that lucky. So, I mean, everybody has their own experience though. Let me know if you take this and you frequently see rainbow cards. Next is Politician. This is one of the strongest perks in my opinion. Politician says +1 royal decree option. So that means when you go to pick out your royal decrees, you normally get 3 decrees to pick from. If you have ×1, you will get +1 royal decree option for a total of 4 royal decrees to choose from. If you take it ×2, then you will have 5 royal decrees to pick from. And if you take it ×3, then you will have 6 royal decrees to choose from, which is just awesome because you're basically getting a free reroll by seeing 3 additional decrees. So politician is pretty much always on my perk tree. Next up is holy. Holy is really, really nice. Holy doubles the blessing effect, and it will stack with like leftist and verticalist. So it's kind of crazy. If you can get the blessing to go off, let's say you have one of the blessings that doubles your either damage, your health, or your troop numbers. If you don't have holy, it doubles them. And then let's say you have 10. Whatever the unit is, you have 10 of that. If you don't have holy, at the end of that, you'll get plus 10, so you have 20. If you have holy times 1, you will get plus 10 again, so you will have 30. And if you have holy times 2, then you will get plus 10 again and have a total of 40, either damage, HP, or troops, whatever your unit is on our hypothetical 10. Next is Expansionist. Start with plus 1 random unlocked plot. It's okay. If you feel like you need more space, go for it. But I typically am okay with just taking the tower expansion events. Next is Wrathful. All troops deal plus 5% damage. Again, it's okay, but normally I feel like there's another perk that is better in its spot. Swift. Swift is also okay. I prefer getting the additional attack speed over the additional damage because I feel like there's more things to boost damage in this game than attack speed, either through decrees or through cards. There aren't as many ways to get attack speed. The most notable one is with a beacon, but this is a nice way to get some more attack speed without needing a beacon, adrenaline, or camp. Ingenious is my favorite perk. Your base can level up plus 5 times. So your max base level is 3. When you take Ingenious times 1, you can get to level 8. When you take Ingenious times 2, you can get to level 13. And when you take Ingenious times 3, you can get to level 18 without needing the King of Times regression cards. Next is Persistent, which is equivalent to the King of Nothing's plus 3 free rerolls. I'm not sure why they gave the King of Nothing the same perk as the Universal perk and just called it a different thing, but you know, it is what it is. Persistent, I really like because getting 3 free rerolls at the beginning of the game can really help you roll and get the cards that you need without spending money before that first shop. Or in that first shop, you can reroll for free so that you can still buy a card. And last but not least, we have Castilian. Castilian says the base has plus 10% to all stats, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll get plus 10% to damage, HP if it has it, attack speed, movement speed if it has it, all of that. So it is pretty nice. What a normal perk tree looks like for me is putting Verticalist in the middle, Leftist to its right, using Expander below Verticalist. It can also go above, it literally doesn't matter. And then lately, I've been doing this Nationalist above the Verticalist so that I can get 2 King perks multiplied by 2. Alternatively, you can get 12 free rerolls with Stubborn here times 4, which is very strong. And your perk tree really should be built based on whatever you kind of want to do in your run. So if you want to go Paladins, go all in on Paladins with the units, or you could get 4 farm cards to your hand. Alternatively, you can put Nationalist over here and get 3 of your King perks multiplied by 2 each. So this is another good option if you want to kind of sparse out what is getting multiplied. Since I've unlocked it, I've been using Moderate perk, so Ingenious doesn't need to go here because it will only be multiplied by 2. So then I can put Mauler here and get a times 3 along with my 3 King perks over here getting multiplied by 2 so that my Castle Builders get a plus 30% attack area because plus 10% times 3 because of Verticalist Leftist here. And then the rest of my perk tree is going to be universal perks that get multiplied by 2. So I normally go Ingenious, Castilian, Persistent, Politician, Holy, and I'll put a King perk here normally. I don't really use Banisher, and I don't use Lunatic, obviously, if I'm going to be putting any other perks down. And I don't need any more experience because I've unlocked all of the perks in the game that I am aware of as of patch 20. So this is what my normal perk tree looks like. If you would like to see a guide for each kind of king's unique perks, please let me know in the comments below. But I hope this has been a helpful, comprehensive guide to at least the rainbow perks and the universal perks and how they interact with each other on this perk tree. So if you did, please feel free to drop a like and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new Nine Kings content. And as always, thanks for watching.